I want to talk about the myth of risk. There was a time to where in travel, people thought that flying in an airplane was inherently riskier than driving in a car. For me, I think that's the perception of control. You tend to allow yourself to believe that one thing is better than the other from a risk perspective when there's nothing factual that gives you evidence that that's the case. I think about the workspace and the income producing space where a lot of people will think that going to a corporate job versus being an entrepreneur is inherently less risky than going out and getting it yourself. I'm not shaming people who have jobs. Let me be clear about that. But what I want you to do is I need you to have an understanding of the risk that's associated with both sides. Because if you go into a corporate situation, one of the biggest things that increases risk for a person is complacency. And so when you go into a situation and they reward you for showing up every day, every week, and you get a paycheck and you can count on that, you start to lull yourself into submission and you never ever put yourself in a position to elevate. Take an entrepreneur, when you wake up every day, you have to go and make it happen. And so you never, or generally you never ever fool yourself into believing that you got it made because you got a deal done. You always stay in that hunter mode. I call that staying humble, staying foolish, and staying hungry. The hunger that comes with entrepreneurship, it allows you to actually survive. It's like being in the wilderness. You know, the reason that animals survive in the wilderness is that they're always looking out for what can get them. And so the thing that allows you to mitigate the risk that's associated with whatever it is that you're doing is to always keep your focus on the downside. Keep your focus on the risk. So if you have a corporate job, as you're elevating and you see success, don't get haughty and start to believe that you're creating this for yourself and then you lull yourself into a sense of submission and sleep. You have to stay hungry. You have to stay foolish. You have to stay alert. And the same for entrepreneurship. As you see higher and higher levels of success as it relates to being an entrepreneur, don't get lazy. Don't get complacent. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Because when you focus on the risk and what can go wrong, the downside, the upside will always take care of itself.